What's going on, my fellow Kino Lords? Welcome to my top 10 most anticipated films of 2022. I had a lot of people request this kind of video to me, and by a lot, I mean like 2 people, and that was enough for me. So I'm gonna cut right through the shit and just get straight to my honorable mentions. So we got Resurrection, which was a pretty big hit at Sundance. That's why it's on here. Speak No Evil, another big hit at Sundance that a lot of people in the Discord were really praising and talking about quite a bit. Dark Harvest, which is kind of a normal looking Halloween fall type film, but it looks like a vibe and is directed by the same director of Hard Candy, which is a film that I haven't seen but I heard nothing but great things about. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, that is the film where Nick Cage plays himself. I mean, how could you not be excited for that film? The Batman, that did not make the list, but I'm obviously still very excited for it. Everything Everywhere All at Once, one of the newer A24 films coming out this year. Cha-Cha Real Smooth, which was another pretty big hit at Sundance. Pretty much nothing but praise for it so far. And it's from a very young filmmaker, which is pretty inspiring to me and really piques my intrigue. So that's why it's on the honorable mentions. The Killer, David Fincher film, almost made the list, but not quite. You Won't Be Alone, a folk horror film that I don't want to say was a big hit at Sundance, but it was pretty popular and is getting mixed reactions. So for that reason, I'm pretty interested in it. After Yang, I just did a trailer reaction to that last week, and it almost made the list, but not quite. And surprisingly, Jordan Peele's Nope. Even though I'm not really that huge on Jordan Peele's films so far, I'm always extremely interested and curious in what he makes next. So for that reason, it's in my honorable mentions. But alright, without further ado, let's go ahead and kick this list off at number 10, which is... At number 10, we have Blonde, which is directed by Andrew Dominik and starring Ana de Armas. So Blonde is essentially a biopic that's centering around Marilyn Monroe, and that's all I really know about. And it has Ana de Armas casted as Marilyn Monroe, which honestly, just from the surface, seems like an excellent casting choice. And I have seen one previous film from Andrew Dominik, which was The Assassination of Jesse James by the Coward Robert Ford, and I really loved that film. So, really just with my confidence from one of the director's previous works and the casting choice, and also just my intrigue of the historical figure that is Marilyn Monroe, has me quite excited for this film. So that's why it's number 10 on the list.
Da-ding-ding, 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 da-ding-ding.
At number 9, we have the Bob's Burgers movie. Yeah, I know this might come as a surprise to some of you who don't know how huge of a Bob's Burgers fan I am yet, but I am absolutely stoked for this film. It's been teasing a release for 2 years now. It was supposed to come out in 2020, I think, but obviously the pandemic pushed it back. It was supposed to get a 2021 release, but again, got pushed back. And now it's officially coming out this year in 2022, I believe in April. I'm not 100% sure, but whenever it comes out, I am just all here for it. Bob's Burgers is one of my all-time favorite comedy animation series. I mean, just for a little, reference, just, I'm not bullshitting. I got my own little coochie copy, which, by the way, was gifted to me from Jen, and I am forever grateful for that. Also, I watched the trailer for the Bob's Burgers movie, and the animation looks absolutely killer. I've never seen Bob's Burgers be presented with such smooth HD quality animation. So, I'm obviously really stoked for it. Honestly, I've never done this before for any movie, but I might actually cosplay when I go to see the Bob's Burgers movie. I don't know who I'm going to dress up as yet. Maybe Gene, but we'll just have to wait and see. At number 8, we have Spaceman, or some people refer to as Spaceman of the Bohemian, I believe. And it's a film that's starring Adam Sandler, and it's directed by Johan Renck, who is most notably known for the HBO series Chernobyl, or I believe it's HBO. I've never seen Chernobyl, but I've heard nothing but excellent things about that series. Nothing but praise. Even from people who I really respect their opinion when it comes to cinema and just entertainment. They have nothing but great things to say about it. So I'm ready to see Adam Sandler and another slice of Kino here. Whenever Adam Sandler stars in a serious kind of movie, I don't know if it's going to be a serious movie or a comedy or a dramedy or whatever the hell it is. But either way, it's from a pretty notable director. And whenever Adam Sandler is in a film, with brilliant directors behind the work, we always get something that's fantastic. Uncut Gems, Punch Drunk Love. So, I mean, a sci-fi space movie with Adam Sandler as an astronaut, directed by an actually notable and praiseworthy director. How could I not be excited for that? I mean, I've always been an Adam Sandler stan, even before he was, starring in these more serious films. But, even now more than ever, I'm just huge on Adam Sandler. I know it's a very normie take to say that. I guess a lot of people would say that my love for Adam Sandler is embarrassing, but, I'm sorry. I'm very unashamed of it. I welcome the embarrassment with open arms, and that's why it's number 8 on my list. So at number 7, we have Killers of the Flower Moon, which is directed by Martin Scorsese, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro, and also including Jesse Plemons, aka Philip Seymour Hoffman Jr. But what's really more to say about this? I honestly don't really know much about the plot of this film. I believe it has something to do with Native Americans. I'm not 100% sure, but I mean, it's Martin Scorsese. And whenever Martin Scorsese is directing a new project, I am 100% there for it, and I'm super stoked for it. I remember upon the release of Silence, I had such huge expectations for that film, and I absolutely loved it. It blew me away. I don't know if I have the same level of excitement that I had for Silence, but still, that excitement is still there, and I can't wait to watch this film. And that's why it's number 7 on my list. So at number 6, we have a film called Bardo, or A False Chronicle of a Handful of Truths, I believe is what it's called. Yep, that's what it's called. This is a film that's directed by Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu, and for that alone, I'm super excited for it. This guy hasn't released a film since The Revenant. I mean, this guy came out with Birdman, which is a 10 out of 10, and then the year after came out with The Revenant, which I don't know if I'd go as far as to say is a 10 out of 10, but it's still a fantastic piece of filmmaking. And ever since then, he hasn't come out with a film, and now he's coming out with another, and I'm obviously extremely excited for it. I don't know much about the synopsis, obviously, but what I did read up on it is that it's about a Mexican that is trying to deal with the modernization of Mexico. I don't know, but either way, I'm extremely interested, and that's why it's number 6 on my list. So at number 5, we have Vortex, which is written and directed by Gaspar Noé. What can I say about it? It's a Gaspar Noé film. Not only is it a Gaspar Noé film, but it's a film that, upon its initial release at film festivals, was actually getting universal praise, which is unheard of for Gaspar Noé. I mean, this is a guy that's always getting a lot of shocking, a lot of mixed reactions from people. And here he's come out with a film that I hear is one of his most personal films yet, one of his most mature and subdued films, but at the same time, being a bit boundary pushing and having that unafraid element that Gaspar Noé always delivers. So, and I hear it's soul crushing. I have some friends who have actually seen this film at a film festival, and they told me that, yeah, this is a pretty devastating film that has to do with themes of coming to terms with old age and death, which is kind of similar to a film like Amour. But either way, I am super excited for this film. I'm super pumped up to feel insanely depressed and question my existence. And for that reason, it's number 5 on my list. So number 4, we have a film called Poor Things, which is a film that's directed by Yorgos Lanthimos. So Poor Things is not only a Yorgos Lanthimos film, but it's starring Willem Dafoe and Emma Stone. More emphasis on Willem Dafoe here. He is one of my all-time favorite actors, and to see him collaborate with Yorgos Lanthimos is just, mwah, it just seems like a dream come true. And, you know, huge shout out to all the people on my Discord who are bringing up all of these new films coming out this year, because I had no idea that this film existed until a lot of my patrons in the Discord brought it to my attention, and I am extremely grateful because I'm obviously insanely stoked for this film. I really don't know much about it at all, but just the information that I have on it right now is enough for me to be just absolutely pumped up for this project. So for that reason, it's number 4 on my list. So number 3, we have Disappointment Boulevard, which is written and directed by Ari Aster and starring Joaquin Phoenix. So just with that alone, Joaquin Phoenix, directed by Ari Aster. I mean, if you're not excited for that film, I don't know what would excite you. I guess if you're not a fan of Ari Aster, then you don't really give a shit. But I love Hereditary. I love Midsommar. I even love his shorts, like The Strange Things About the Johnsons. Really incredible and disturbing shit. But I heard that this film is going to be like a 3 to 4 hour film and is not just horror. I heard it's mostly dark comedy and drama with some elements of horror mixed in. And either way, I am really interested in this film for those reasons. It's going to be interesting to see Ari Aster tackle something that isn't just horror, even though at this point he is masterful at the genre of horror. But I'm glad to see that he's still doing more darker tone films, because this is essentially what this film is going to be, at least supposedly. And for that reason, it's number 3 on my list. So number 2, we have The Whale, which is written and directed by Darren Aronofsky and starring Brendan Fraser. So again, just with that information alone, would have anybody excited for this film. I mean, even if you're not a huge Darren Aronofsky fan, just knowing what has happened with Brendan Fraser throughout the years, if you don't know everything that's happened with him, it's a pretty tragic backstory that really led him down a dark and depressing road. Really feel for the guy. My heart goes out to him. And to see him kind of finally be back on the big screen in a promising role from a very talented filmmaker, it just sends me through the roof with excitement. All I really know about this film is that it's about a 600-pound man. Maybe it's not 600 pounds. Maybe it's like 400, 500, I don't know. But that's what I remember hearing. But either way, it's about a morbidly obese man. And that's pretty much it. Starring Brendan Fraser, about a morbidly obese man, and it's written and directed by Darren Aronofsky, starring Brendan Fraser. That's all I need for this to be number 2 on my list. Darren Aronofsky hasn't made a film since Mother, I believe, and I know that was a pretty divisive film, but I personally really love that film. I have a whole explain video on that I made at the beginning stages of this channel that is still quite popular, and I'm just really, really dying to see this film and to see Brendan Fraser back on the big screen again. And pretty much for that reason, that's why it's number 2 on my list. All right, it's time for number 1, and this is not going to be a surprise basically to anybody at this point. But without further ado, my number 1 is The Northmen, which is written and directed by Robert Eggers. So again, obviously with just that alone, it's extremely exciting, but we also got a phenomenal trailer to this, which I reacted to, and it just absolutely blew me away. It's got a killer cast. It seems like Robert Eggers is doing what he does best, except on a much larger and epic scale. And really, I shouldn't even have to explain it. You should just go watch the trailer and get your own fulfillment and excitement from it, because it is, in my opinion, more than likely going to be an astounding film. I mean, I really hope it doesn't let me down. There's always that possibility. But just from the fact that this is coming from Robert Eggers, somebody who basically came out with 2 masterpieces, in my opinion, back to back, The Witch and The Lighthouse. I mean, why would anybody not be excited for this film? I mean, it's got Bjork coming back. She's never starring in movies. She's in it. Nicole Kidman, Anya Taylor-Joy, Willem Dafoe, just a litany of talented actors in this huge, dark Viking epic, and I'm just all the way here for it. So, for that reason, it's number 1 on my list. But that's it, everybody. I hope you guys really enjoyed my top 10 most anticipated films of 2022. I would love to hear everybody else's top 10, so please make that be known in the comment section below. If you really enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it amongst your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to be updated on more film-related content.